I think cheating and sign stealing in professional sports should be legal. Look, we've had countless examples over the years: the Astros, the Wolverines, the Patriots, and those are teams that have gotten caught sign stealing. And at the end of the day, I think the onus should be on the team to protect their signs and or to manipulate their signs to where it can throw off the opposition. Look, everybody inevitably is trying to get information on the other team. They want to know what plays they're running, what pitches they're throwing. Everybody is always trying to figure out what the opponent is doing, because if you can take away the surprise, it helps a lot when it comes to game planning. And look, if the Wolverines are going to buy tickets in the stands and zoom in on your play calls and then radio it over to the sideline and the coach and then tell it's like, look, it sounds like a very intelligent operation. This is like a war, and you're sending a spy into and you're like, oh, come on, that's too much. Look, I mean, if they're willing to go to that extent, you need to take precautions to prevent that. I don't think the leagues should be banning the Wolverines or the Astros or the Patriots. I think it should be your job to protect your information. You are gaining an advantage in sports when you communicate with your team. You're building game plans. You're trying to manipulate the opponent. You're trying to trick players. You're trying to deceive them. And they're trying to deceive you. So I don't like how some forms of deception and some forms of communication are legal, but then if you get our deception, if you figure out what our deception is going to be before you utilize it against us, then that's an issue. I think you should protect your signs, and I think if you know somebody's looking at your signs, then you should show that sign, and when they radio over, oh, the fastball is actually now a curveball. So you can use it against them as well if you think they're doing that, and I think that would mitigate it to some extent. You know, if when the Patriots were spying on teams, if they did fake walkthroughs and totally baited the Patriots would, number one, get caught, which they inevitably did, but number two, they would look stupid because the whole defense would be prepared for said play call, which was shown in the walkthrough, and then that team ran something else. So I don't even think, sign stealing is a surefire way to just auto-win any games. I think the onus should be on the team to protect their communication signals, not the league to slap down punishments on teams that are willing to go the extra mile. Now, in terms of PED usage, because I brought that up, and that's kind of similar to cheating. It's more of a physical form of cheating versus kind of a communications form of cheating. And I kind of feel the same way. Look, most of the people in professional sports are taking some sort of illegal substance, whether that's steroids, whether that's SARMs, whether it's HGH, whether it's PEDs, whether it's EPO, whether it's something that we're not even familiar with in the public. They went to their pharmacist and they start cooking something up that we've never seen before. But the vast majority of professional athletes have taken something. Now, maybe are they currently taking it? I don't know. Most guys are not blasting steroids for their entire career. When people say steroids, they're generally meaning from a muscle building standpoint. And people see athletes who are not super jacked and they think, oh, they're natural. No. It's the furthest thing from the truth. Look, professional athletes, for the most part, the NFL, yeah, but most professional athletes do not want to get as muscular as possible. That's not how it works. Preferably in most sports, you want to get as much cardio as possible. So something like an EPO, or maybe you want to increase your tendon and ligament strength. So maybe you take HGH. It's like people just think that, oh, that guy's not jacked, he's not on steroids. Completely wrong. If anything, the jacked guy is less likely to be on steroids, because that's a little more natural, and that's something that's like, okay, well, once they get so big, it's just obvious. But cardio, it's a little bit tougher to be like, okay, well, your cardio is really impressive, you must be taking something. And although it could backfire, it could get unsafe, allowing everyone to take drugs, I think it probably would be safer if we legalized it and didn't do drug tests, for the reason that if you watch professional bodybuilding, all those guys take a lot of steroids, more than NFL, more than MLB, more than boxers. They take a lot. But number one, they have an expert in their corner that makes the steroid cycle for them. And number two, they are getting blood tests done weekly or monthly. So they've got a doctor and the steroid expert on their deck. The guys in professional sports, they can't go to the doctor and say, I'm taking XYZ, I need you to do my blood test, because it's illegal in the sports. And they also can't go to a psycho expert because they're going to get exposed. So they have to go through these backroom channels and say, hey, I need this, this, and this, and it might be triple dose, and it might be something completely different, and they can't get blood tests done, because when they get the blood test done, then the doctor's like, what is going on here? Are you taking drugs? And then you get suspended. So it is actually pretty dangerous for you to be doing. Well, it's dangerous in general, but if you're going to do it, which I do believe the majority of these guys are doing it, I think if we destigmatize it and let them, kind of publicly talk about it and figure it out, I think that would